Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. Mm-hmm. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
A lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to.
He look crazy, Bill. Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. All right, welcome in to a Tuesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. As always, built by our friends over at RMB Builders. Get in touch with Rhett and the crew over at RMB Builders by just looking them up on online, rmb-builders.com, and RMB Builders on Instagram as well. Our phone line brought to you by Metropolitan Health Group. We have a text in to Doug Thompson. He's probably sleeping after the last couple of days. Late night at
Party in the box.
As LSU stamps their ticket to the Super with a nice little 3-0 sweep of the regionals. Pitching staff was on fire. The bats are woken up. Lots to get to here. We'll talk to Dougie, hopefully. As always, brought to you by the Firefighters Association. 13-7 win yesterday for LSU. Remember the phone lines, Metropolitan Health Group, real doctors, real solutions. Shout out to Charlie Harvey, as Charlie Harvey is and Metropolitan Health Group going through a lot of success right now. So shout out to them over at Metropolitan Health Group. Congratulations to all of what's going on over there. They're our phone line sponsor, and hopefully we'll talk to Dougie. And then Mike Anderson, the custom shoe guy, is going to be through here at 8 a.m. Hopefully he's got a...
Kicks for the crew.
Does he know our songs? I mean, I wasn't asked.
I was on the hook for some boot up
customs,
and then the whole deal went down. Where old Willie lost his job, and
you get some McNeese ones.
Lost in the
shuffle.
I got lost in the fire there.
I mean, but y'all would still wear them. You'd still wear them, right?
Are you kidding me?
Aww.
Absolutely.
What if they were McNeese colors?
I'd still wear them.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, his shoes are amazing.
Yeah,
so
but you know that there's gonna be one pair here.
What do you mean?
I'm saying of shoes. It's not gonna be for us. It might be for him.
I don't know yet.
I don't know.
We're same size, so maybe if you get new ones, you can pass down some old ones.
There you go.
There we go.
I cleaned out the closet though.
Oh,
Probably threw away too much.
yeah.
I do that
Which is
too.
a huge issue now.
You're looking for stuff that you don't have.
I am aware of the same thing every day type of guy. I've got a rotation, pretty strong rotation.
We know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
I'm trying to hide
guys.
it. It would surprise me if you didn't notice. But I definitely threw some things away that even kind of those rainy day things. Where
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know. Like I went away with those. Like
That's
every time
okay.
else you like clean out the closet, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. to
Keep
this.
it.
Yeah.
I'm holding
But
this.
then the next time you do it and it's still there and you're like, I keep
Why
doing
did I
this.
keep this?
Yeah, but then he hasn't. I don't think he re-upped though. Is the thing. Like usually when you
Right.
throw,
Clean
yeah.
out and then you don't replace.
The closet is very barren.
Oh, man.
Like, what I mean? Like when I walk in, I'm
That's a
like,
terrible
oh,
feeling.
God.
I can fix that for you in
Oh,
a second.
oh, this is
So
not
just
good.
tell me what you need. I
Come
could be
through.
a person.
I mean,
don't
like,
mean
I-
I'm buying it. I just meant I
I mean,
can
I was
help.
about to
I
say,
went through
Katie,
my,
are
I
you
mean, I
buying?
went through like the shoes,
Yeah.
the dress. Like, that's where it kind of hit me. Like I had to throw something on this weekend. I'm like,
I don't have anything.
Oh God, this is not good.
I got threw everything
is it
away.
cool if they wear basketball shorts?
It's gonna be Adam Sandler.
Big
Swimsuit.
T-shirt, big shorts.
Yeah,
So I had to go to
and
the
one
mall.
short.
You did?
Yes.
You went to the mall?
I had to go to the mall. I had to go to the mall. I overthrew away.
Oh, man. But
Just
it
not
feels
the
good to
worst
purge.
feeling.
It feels good to purge.
It does.
It does.
I
It
love
does. And I do feel very like kind of
Minimalist.
it. Yeah. Lighter.
refreshed in my closet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I haven't seen anything new
I do
yet.
need to purge the closet.
Oh no.
It's a good feeling, Stewie.
It is.
It is. It is
It's a
good
good
feeling.
feeling.
And you
But
can, like, donate your stuff. That's a good feeling.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. That's where I go. So if you drop anything off at Goodwill, you may see it here.
too. Bring it here and donate it to
This
Yeah, I
shirt
could
was
just-
free.
I could just donate it.
These
to
are my
Lola.
brother's shoes.
Stop.
So LSU yesterday gets their 46th win of the season. And listening to Jay Johnson's post-game press conference, I think it might have been Cobble or Jacques. It was one of the A-listers that asked him about.
Skip.
He referenced Skip a lot in that press conference.
Or arm in arm together.
It was,
Go ahead. Do your breathing.
ooh,
See,
You see, Jay, you went with the lefty.
Cooper, Jumbo.
But he when he referenced, like, Coach, somebody asked him about, like, his pitching staff and what they kind of, like, come together, and is this all coming together to change? He's like, yeah, yes and no. He was like, yes, I'm happy for the guys that really put it together this weekend, which, I mean, his pitching staff and his bullpen, really, I thought for what the expectation was, especially from, the outsiders, this show, they overperformed. I thought the pitching staff, for as good as the offense was, and it was great to see, balls flying out the yard. I thought the pitching staff is really kind of the story of the weekend, and him laying out how many guys they are missing, right? Like, when you talk about this staff really coming together here at the right time of the year, but still missing some of these headlines. And when he said it, he was like, we're talking about big leaguers. We're talking about major league guys that you're missing, and he rattled off Edwards and Shores and, these guys that have been taken away from them, and that they're 46 and 15 and 2 wins away from Omaha. Look, I'm not ready to throw the parade at all, but it was kind of a take a step back and realize, like, they've battled through a lot of stuff and still find themselves in it. And I feel so much better about them here on Tuesday morning than I did on Friday morning. Right? Like, going into the weekend, it was kind of like, man, I hope they can navigate this. I hope they don't get into some pitching trouble. I hope the bats wake up, especially against a team like Oregon State, who can come down here and, put up 20. They put up 18 on Friday night. So, on Tuesday morning, waking up, seeing that they've closed out the series with a 13-7 win, navigated the weekend by not only the pitching staff really performing, but building confidence in those guys. Thatcher Hurd's got to be feeling himself right now.
Oh my goodness.
Like, the last 3 outings for this cat has been, just kind of an elevator of confidence. That curveball is
A
backyard wiffle ball type stuff. That is like, he's got guys bailing out. And Travinsky's just snapping it right in the middle of the plate. It's a beautiful thing. If they've got 3 pitchers and the offense is performing like it was over the weekend, where they're mashing. Yesterday, the hit party carried over. And look, I know Tommy White had a rough weekend. You could see him pressing. He was chasing that high heat yesterday just to, get a part, be a part of the
Action.
be a part of the party. You know what I mean? It was a big celebration. I think everybody yesterday had 2 hits Besides Tanks, I think Tanks was the only guy.
I know he got one for sure because he celebrated like, all right,
Yes,
finally. But with the
hopefully,
seeing
yeah,
a single the other way, he's like, all right, this feels like a bomb right
and
now.
the numbers say that he'll be there.
Oh.
Right? Like, I mean, it was
I think
one
he
of
was just
those,
pressing.
It was one of those weekends where, I mean, it was, just it didn't work out for him, but it worked out for everybody else, and I expect him to be there, right? Like, I mean, I don't expect him to fall in the hole when you just look at his output and his capability and what he's performed like all season. So, man, yesterday was fun to watch. Gavin Guidry getting going again. Dylan Cruz again hitting home runs. I mean, just Josh Pearson's pounding the ball, right? I mean, he's seeing it.
It's the perfect guy to put in the 9-hole.
He is, man.
It's opened everything up for Cruz.
And he was one of those guys early in the season when he was going through it, when he was kind of up and down, and he was an opening day starter, and pretty quickly he was hooked out of there. You thought, I was at least thinking like, man, he's too good offensively. At some point, he's going to have to help you out, and now cannot be a better time for him to get going.
When he hit that triple yesterday, he
Coach,
was picking him up.
flying.
He was picking
I didn't
him
know
up
he
and
had it
putting
like
him
that.
down.
I didn't know he could run like that.
Me either.
Was it Dave Neal? Was it Dave Neal and Ben McDonald? I know it was Ben McDonald, but
We had the game on mute.
I think it was Dave.
I think it was Dave Neal. And
It was
he's
Jared
great.
Mitchell and Mikey
Neal
Mata.
and McDonald are great.
Yeah.
Like they've got a great relationship. McDonald's steadily like messing with him, and Neal goes back at him. But they knew Pearson could run. I did not, because when he hit it, Neal's like, "Look out! Pearson's going to make this three." And I'm like, he did the head first slide, but he could have stood up on that thing. He was wide receiver fast.
Moving.
And when he got out the box, he thought it was going to leave. Like he wasn't like head
He
down
kinda trotted
sprinting.
for a
Yeah,
minute.
and then he just like, oh, we're going.
And he hit the ball like that all weekend. He was
No,
hitting
he
off the
hit
wall.
that. He hit that ball.
But I saw him hit that ball.
Didn't he have a stand-up? He had a stand-up triple on Saturday, right?
I know he had a bomb.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. I've watched it like 3 times since we've been talking about it.
how fast he is.
for these guys to start catching their feet here at this part of the season, this could be, this could be a fun ride if LSU can put it all together. And it looks like coming out of the regionals that they have at least, began to believe that they can. For the first time in a while, you look at LSU and you're like, they
That's
know
the
they
number one
can.
team in the country.
Right. For the first 9 weeks of the season, nothing scared me about LSU baseball. Nobody, no road, no opponent, they're not going anywhere, nobody coming to the box scared me for LSU's sake.
Well, that's what it feels like again.
The last month of the season, I was terrified of no disrespect, but like Mississippi State.
Anybody could come in.
Like was coming in here and beating them in a way where it was mentally like making you think, I don't even know we can. Are we that good? Is LSU that good? And then to see where they are here Tuesday morning, waking up after they win the regional, it feels way, way more like it did at the beginning of the season, where it's like, damn, that looks like the number one team in the country, where it's like a tidal wave in this lineup.
It's the weirdest sport ever.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say this
like
is
that.
this is the most baseball season you can have.
It
Like
is.
this is usually how they go. It never is perfect. Like you could go. Go to that like LSU's 2019 football season. That doesn't happen.
Right.
To where you get through a whole year without anybody getting injured or really no drama. No, everybody kind of find their role and like, oh, goodness, you see the Alabama game, like, okay, they are that good. Like there's prove it points in the year.
Yeah.
Texas was probably the most stressed you were until you got to Alabama.
No doubt.
But for LSU baseball, it was the same thing where it was, okay, they kind of same thing. They beat Texas. That was their first real test where Dugas hits a 3-run home run. And you're like, okay, good to get out of there with the win. You don't know how, where you are in the season. You're ranked number 1, but you haven't been tested yet. And then you have like the ebbs and flows of a baseball season to where it goes, okay, they're number 1 in the country. Why aren't they sweeping anybody? And it's
Right.
like, why are we asking these questions? Then it's, okay, you battled the injury bug. And now it's, okay, now you're losing. And so you see all of these tidal waves. It's almost like a kind of hitting in a sense to where you start off hot, you kind of slump, and then you find your, water finds its level. And that's where LSU baseball feels like it is right now, to where you have to feel great with where you are. And it feels like the regional was almost the litmus test for where they are. They wanted to get out of get to the supers for sure.
No doubt.
Because last year he put so much emphasis on trying to get out of the regional, and they weren't able to do it whenever they just had to win one more game. And so it feels like Jay was really pressing to be able to get to a super, and then now we go.
Right.
Because that's why, I mean, you called it with the Skeins. I don't know how you
they're
knew
built.
that.
They're built for this type of.
This is what
weekend.
they've been. This is
I
what
mean,
they've
like,
been.
This is where they just chew them up and spit them out.
Because
you know
if you
what I mean?
like look at what Oregon State had to do. You saw the same three pitchers you saw in the previous game, and you're just like, oh goodness.
I was wondering.
Yeah, the Sidewinder's coming back in. Like they're going to hit this ball 500 feet off this cat, especially after you see him once when they're like, okay, he throws 85, and that could be an adjustment for the first time you see him in the whole game almost, where this is below the hitting speed. And then you see him again, you're like, oh, we're about to launch this cat.
do we have Jay Johnson's post-game interview? I want to get to where I think it was Jacques again that asked him if he's been motivated about getting back to the super regionals, and he almost like cut him off and was like, I can assure you we don't need any more motivation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he is.
He says, and I swear, he says, this is my life. Mm-hmm. He said, this is the only thing I care about. He said, I still think about the national championship game where we had the tying run on third, the lead run on second, and got it was some type of out. He said, now I'm over it.
But I think about it every day.
I still think about it every day. He said, so rest assured that, and he references Skip. He said one thing, he said, I've told Skip, and he like points at him. He said, I appreciate what you did, but you also have made everybody else so much better.
You made this job a lot harder.
It's a lot harder to do. And he also said you have to appreciate what he did because it's very difficult what he accomplished. But he kind of closed it, and it was Rabelais. It was Scott Rabelais that asked him. Because Rabelais kind of makes a remark after the kind of like, thank you. You know,
Yeah.
It's a great answer because he's kind of like wraps it up. He was like, so to answer your question, we don't need any more motivation.
This is my life.
I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff.
That's awesome.
And I mean, like, if you're an LSU fan, and I know that he's faced a little bit of pushback and criticism over the last couple of weeks on some decisions that he's made, but there's no better security that you can find in the guy that's leading the program than what he said yesterday. And when you look at the way that his strategy really played out, I mean, look, I know everybody's invested. I know everybody thinks that their voice matters. I know everybody believes that they know a ton of baseball. That guy knows his team and more baseball than we'll ever know collectively, right? And I mean, I'm not talking to the Terrios and the Ben McDonalds of the world. I'm just talking about us who are watching it and are really passionately invested in it. I mean, going into the weekend, everybody wanted to crucify him for starting Skeins on Friday. Think about if he would have started Skeins on Sunday. You know, I mean, he as he answered it yesterday, he said, I've got some guys on the underground that I trust on the weather thing. And he said it wasn't my sole reason that I made the decision, but there was a ton that went into it.
And he talked about whenever he was at the regional for Arizona, and he was like, and we look up and it's Tuesday, and LSU still hasn't finished their regional yet. And I was like,
he was like, we were in Lafayette, and we won and just bust over to Southern Miss. And he was like, one thing that I recognized was that LSU was still playing on Tuesday. And I kind of thought, man, that's some pitching strategy. I mean, like, this guy he's thinking about it all. Like, I mean, like, the way that he thinks about the game is obsessive. He is
obsessed.
He's obsessed with it.
Which is what you want your head coach to be, in a sense.
If you're LSU's baseball coach, there's nothing else you can ask for. There's nothing else that you could ask for than this guy to be invested and, looking for the cutting edge to be able to win. Now, yesterday, some other news popped right at the end of the game. The timing on it was really weird, but I guess it got into a point where it was going to pop in Athens, so they had to get out in front of it. But it was announced yesterday. I believe Kendall Rogers had it
Pete
first.
Thamel.
Or was
Pete
it Pete
Thamel.
It was Pete Thamel. How did that happen? Pete Thamel. Weird.
From the clouds.
I mean, like, yeah, right. From the top deck. Breaks news that Wes Johnson, LSU's pitching coach, has accepted the University of Georgia head baseball coach position. Yeah, sweet gig, but timing really weird. As you could see, like, yesterday in the huddle after the game, as LSU is, kind of celebrating the regional win, there's kind of like this moment. Jacques' camera picked it up, and it's, they're kind of like clapping. They're like kind of like celebrating a little bit. People are like, okay. he had obviously been like, Coach Johnson just took the Georgia job.
Yeah, get a magic moment. Wes Johnson.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, sweet.
Is he staying?
Do we know who we play next weekend in the Super Regionals? But oddly enough, he's. I guess I don't say oddly enough. I never expected Wes Johnson to make the move in anticipation that he was seeking out a head coaching.
Well, we talked about it last week. It just kind of came up. It wasn't anything founded on him leaving already. It was, do you think that he wants to be a head coach? Like, absolutely. And I was like, I thought he was coming here to work with Jay Johnson and be a pitching coach. I thought that he enjoyed the college baseball aspect.
Who said that?
You did.
That he wanted to be a head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was like, oh, really? I was like, I don't know what he knows. I never know what he knows.
Is this why he left? Just he wants to be a head coach?
I guess once you get the opportunity to go. I mean, Athens is a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Athens, I mean, you got to.
Baseball in Georgia is so good.
I'm
The
speculating.
baseball here is good, so why is he leaving?
This is all speculative. I have no idea. But I got to imagine he gets down here and he looks at the LSU job and he's like, this is better than probably 60% of the big leagues.
You get treated better.
The facilities,
Yeah.
we fly charter, we stay in 5-star hotels, we eat like kings on the road. I mean, it's like
There's money all over the place.
like, this guy's making, Jay Johnson's making a multi-million dollars with security and contracts, and I mean, yeah, maybe I do want to do this. And somebody's like, the Georgia job's opening. You're like,
Cobb County's right there.
Right. I mean, in the last week of the season, LSU's in Athens. He's probably like, this place is beautiful. I mean,
Love it here.
And Georgia is a hotbed for, it's a hotbed for football talent, recruiting talent. A lot of people, pay attention to it. But when you talk about the baseball talent that comes out of Georgia, I mean, and it's a lot as what happens to the University of Georgia when, Mark Richt was there. I mean, there was a lot of criticism to Richt, like people just come into Georgia and raid it. Not that you have to get everybody, but you got to get Cam Newton, man. You can't let Cam Newton go to Florida. I mean, and so, like, Kirby Smart was like, okay, look, let me show y'all how to do it. And Georgia's one of those states where, like, it's kind of like Louisiana, like, it's tough to get all of them. Like you can go get like the headliners, but I mean, like, it looks like Brian Kelly, Frank Wilson, and the crew are about to get the top 10 players in the state of Louisiana for the cycle of 24. It's rare you see 10 out of 10 go to LSU. I mean, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, yeah. See that all the time. 10 out of 10 is very rare. And that's starting to happen at Georgia. And, Georgia's baseball, I don't even know. The only thing I knew about Georgia baseball that I found out last week is that Ernie Johnson walked on as a player when he was in college. I couldn't name a thing about Georgia baseball.
Gordon Beckham.
Who is that?
The first overall pick, I think, or first or
Really?
second. Yeah, they played shortstop there for a minute, but they don't have any real
I mean,
history.
they've got no history.
No, and
So
they should.
What's the money? Is it money?
Well, it's SEC money.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got that SEC.
Do we know what they offered him?
No, but
Or
I
we
mean, I'm
don't
sure
know
it's a
anything yet?
multi-million-dollar contract.
Yeah.
I
More
mean,
than he was making as the pitching
nobody's
coach.
even
Oh, yeah.
nobody's listening to a Power 5 or a Big 5 sport on SEC campus unless you're talking multi-million bucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, like, everybody from the softball coach to the head football coach.
Right.
I mean, everybody is making an exorbitant amount of money now because of what is coming down from the SEC network. I mean, they've run out of things to spend money on college.
problem.
I mean, how many facilities? How many indoor?
How many
batting
slides
cages
can you
do
have?
need?
Yeah.
I mean, how many more upgrades to a locker? We've given you, airplane seats in the locker room. You know what I mean? Like
Dubai.
We've given you, we've given you a nutrition center that, cost a couple $1 million.
Right.
I mean, they got 5-star dining, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, it's like, what else can we spend on? You're like, I don't know. I guess we got to pay these coaches a ton of money. I mean, at some point, this is why they're going to have to sit down and say, look, we just need to divvy up all this cash, and we need to spread the money to everyone. And if you play football, this is what you get. If you play basketball, this is what you get. If you play baseball, this is what you get. That way, all this NIL stuff is done. That's how you collectively bargain.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
They're talking about that, but they don't want to give up the money.
Right.
You
I know.
Like the people are like, yeah, but what about us?
Right.
And they're like, well, you might have to come off $1 million or $2
million. $1 or $2 million.
you just, it might happen where you can't fly to the Cayman Islands on the private jet 6 times a year.
We'll find the money somewhere.
you're going to have to back that up to maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, adjust your lifestyle and spread the cash.
Tennessee's about to build a $56 million baseball facility.
Katie, they got nothing else to spend the money on.
It's crazy.
They're like,
look at
what do we do with all
Vanderbilt.
this money?
Yeah,
They're like,
look
I
at-
don't know,
look what
Tony
Vanderbilt's
Vitello,
about to do.
I guess they're going to be good building something.
Yeah, they should be good. Let's do it.
It only takes 1 year too for college football,
Yeah.
essentially, to where it's like, oh, we raised all this
It
money,
does.
and it's like, well, build something.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're right.
What? Well,
Right,
You
exactly.
like Tennessee's had one good year.
Like Bo Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
They go get Bo Lowry from the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
And Lowry is, he's the best at what he does.
Yeah.
He comes in and 6 months on the job, he's like, hey, we need to build a facility that is just built around, rehabilitation, stretching, yoga. What are these new age facilities where you're like, all right, well, how much does it cost? And they're like, $20 million? He's like,
Great.
all right, sweet. I guess we can just knock out a practice field over there. They're like, just throw it up,
Find somewhere for it.
yeah, right. It's like
It's
new
wild.
facility. It's like, that's why when you look at, when you really look at the breakdown of, LSU's campus, if you are men's basketball, you've got to be like,
I know.
can we just get some hot water?
Get the rats out.
Can we
Fix
get a
that.
pest control?
Can we fix the leak in the roof?
You need a pest control for the games. They're arguing about the rats. You know what I mean? Meanwhile at Georgia,
Got a space shuttle and 50 feet away from you at LSU football ops, and it's like, well, can we get air conditioning?
You're
Can you win?
teleporting the players from the practice facility to the stadium, so they don't have to walk on cement on football.
Got underground tunnels for football.
GAs are carrying them over.
They never wear the same shoes twice over there.
We can't get tape. And then the only thing that can essentially help men's basketball is women's basketball at this point, because
Absolutely.
Kim is
Absolutely.
Well, I feel like after I won, I can say something now.
Absolutely. Yes, right.
No, yeah,
right.
you
It took her. It took her 6 days
Uh-huh.
to be like, we need a new arena.
There's been something on my mind.
I got something to say.
All right, Doug Thompson coming up next. We'll talk LSU baseball. Come back with us. Jordy Culotta Show, built by RMB Builders. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha,
Malik Neighbors,
Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacy,
Greg Brooks.
Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference.
Bet. Let's get it done.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by R&B Builders. Get in touch with them on Instagram at rnbbuilders.com. If I had a vote on who the next pitching coach would be, it would be our next guest, Doug Thompson. I don't know if he has the time to do it.
I think he can make the time.
And I'm not nominating him, but, I mean, I'm just saying I've seen him in the way that he handles this. And he comes from Skip's book of pitching. When you hear Skip talk about pitching, it makes it sound very easy, and it's not. Remember, Doug, when we talk to Doug each week, the segment's brought to you by the Louisiana Firefighters Foundation, who aim to create a safer community, offering safety training courses to current Louisiana firefighters and first responders, as well as free training and consulting services to our community business owners, teachers, administrators. You can visit them today online at louisianafirefighters.com if you want to learn more and schedule a free training today to prepare your team for the unexpected. The Louisiana Firefighters Foundation, aiming to make Louisiana a safer place. DT9, Doug Thompson on Louisiana, a part of the LSU Sports Radio Network. What a treat this weekend was with the three-man booth with you, CB, and the Buzz. Dougie, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yep, always fun in the three-man booth. Didn't feel like work this weekend for sure.
Doug, more impressive, LSU's offense or the pitching staff this weekend?
Well, I think both equally as impressive. The first game, they get them over, they get them in, they do it with kind of the small ball, the hits here and there, and then the bats just explode, guerrilla ball style, if you will, and they become the first team since 1998 to have 8 players in the lineup with double-digit home runs.
Wow.
But, yeah, super proud of the pitching staff as well. Obviously, Paul Skeins was Paul Skeins. And just a ho-hum 12 strikeouts over 9 innings. And I think the eating up the whole game was the biggest thing that he did, which is, you know, it's so valuable in a tournament. And then you've got Ty Floyd. It looked bleak when the lightning came, and it was clear that Ty was not going to be able to make his way back out to the mound. I think some were surprised to see Thatcher Hurd run out there, but I tell you that Jay Johnson, he knows what he's doing, and things worked out well. You go Riley, Cooper, Ackenhausen, you know, and others all the way down to Gavin Guidry, Herring yesterday. Just a ton of lefties, and then you come in there with Guidry, who doesn't look like a freshman, doesn't act like a freshman, doesn't pitch like a freshman, and he comes in there and slams the door shut twice. So, I mean, it was just really a super regional. And now that we've gotten through that one, we're ready for an actual super regional here in Baton Rouge, which is so cool to say for the first time in a while now.
Box was beautiful this weekend. It was rocking when the weather was right. Doug, take me to Friday. When you heard that Skeins was starting, what did you think about the strategy? And now here on Tuesday morning, knowing the outcome, how beautiful it was to see it kind of all play out.
Well, I mean, again, there was tons of speculation. I actually was curious what the general, the Tiger fan thought. I put a tweet out, I don't remember, Friday morning sometime, to see who would you start, and I had Paul Skeins and, of course, Ty Floyd Hurd and Thatcher Hurd actually got 70% of the votes. Thank goodness that's not the way it worked out, because we actually got Paul Skeins for 9 innings as opposed to only 3. Although I think that Ty Floyd and Thatcher Hurd were good enough to beat Tulane. It's always risky to go into a tournament without your number one. And, the Tigers getting that first game was so big for the rest of the week, especially, again, Paul Skeins eating up 9 innings. It just really set up the rest of the weekend, in the Tigers' favor.
Doug, take me to Riley Cooper. I thought Jay Johnson, speaking of him yesterday, man, he was really complimentary and kind of went into the history of Riley Cooper, how they found him out in Fresno, what they counted on him, for in Arizona, and what he's been for him here in Baton Rouge. From your point of view, what is Cooper to this team?
Well, he's that veteran out of the bullpen. He's unflappable. No moment's too big. A lot of guys might let that, oh, my goodness, I'm starting game 3 of the regional. I've only started 2 games this year. A lot of people might let something like that get in their head because it's unusual. It's different than their routine. But Cooper's not that type of kid. He's tough between the ears. He throws strikes. He battles when he's throwing a changeup for a strike. He's a very tough college pitcher. And most importantly, Jay Johnson trusts him, and he knows what he's going to get out of him. So, quite honestly, there was some surprise when I showed up to the box and found out, kind of that he's going to go with Riley Cooper. But Riley Cooper was on my short list of people that wouldn't surprise me if they ran out there for him, along with Blake Money and a couple other guys that I think could have gone out there and had the same results, 3 or 4 innings with limited damage, which is exactly what Riley Cooper gave him.
Remember the Louisiana Firefighters Foundation online at louisianafighters.com, aiming to make Louisiana a safer place. You brought up Gavin Guidry, Doug, and I want to talk about, next year, is this guy going to be the shortstop and the closer? But this year, he's not a freshman, and they count on him in very big spots. What have you made of how he's grown up here in his first year?
Well, they make him tough over there in Lake Charles at Barb. Those Barb Bucks are year after year in that. It seems like in that state championship game, if not winning it. Glenn Cicchini has done a great job there for decades, and he's a player. He's an athlete. He's tough between the ears. Has a lot of a belief in himself. He's very confident, which again is unusual. Turned down a lot of money to be at LSU, and again, he's one of these kids that we're really lucky to have. But yeah, he has been the shot in the arm that you needed. Without Garrett Edwards and Chase Shores, I'm not sure. Those injuries, I'm not sure how much we actually get to know or get to see Gavin Guidry this year. But those injuries, that's what happens in sports. That's what makes it so great. Is it's the next man up, even if that man might not be as prepared as the one before him. And Gavin Guidry so far has answered the bell.
Doug, we saw Skeins throwing the football on Saturday. You were a pitcher. Was there any correlation? Was there any warm-up that made sense, or was it just kind of crossover? You were a two-sport guy in JUCO before you got here.
Yeah, and I love throwing a football to this day, actually. What's more fun than throwing a football? But, and a lot of pitchers did that. When I grew up, you hear the stories of Nolan Ryan tossing the pigskin around a little bit. So that's not unheard of to get it out and kind of just get your arm stretched out from a good 15, 20 yards, just spinning it out there. It makes you kind of, get through the throw. You can't really short arm it. And it's very common for pitchers to every now and again grab a football and toss a little bit.
Doug, it felt like the late 90s at the box with the way the ball was flying out the yard this weekend. What did you make of all those home runs?
Well, the guys were seeing the ball well. I think the pitching started to, as we got deeper in the tournament, the pitching started to suffer a little bit, but or actually, decline a little bit. But nonetheless, 5 home runs in game 2, 4 in game 3. We hit 9 home runs in those 2 games. I mean, it was so much fun to watch. It was unusual out of the 9 home runs for only 8 to be solo home runs. Goodness knows if they would have had some walks and errors and things like that before, what the scores would have been out there. But man, I just think they're seeing it well. I think this lineup is really clicking. How about Hayden Travinski with 10 home runs and 80 at-bats? Do the math on that, comparatively speaking to some other kids, how many at-bats they have, and give Hayden that many at-bats and just kind of do the math, see where he would be. It's up there in the 20s. But he has been just a bolt of electricity to an already high-voltage lineup. And that's what we're seeing, man. These guys are seeing it well. It's the perfect time of year for them to be swinging the bats, and don't forget it's heating up a little bit, and it tends to fly a little bit more out of the box than normal as the weather warms up. So yeah, it was reminiscent of the late 90s. At some point, even Jordy, I heard a Tommy chant and got the chills, because it took me right back to where 8,000 people at the old box were on their feet chanting Eddie Furness's name, and those were always special times. So look, the one thing I wish we could do again about this regional, right? When you get the regional at LSU, that crowd is supposed to be what's going to make this even more difficult than the opponent that you're facing in the years. And unfortunately, because of the rain and the lightning and whatnot, it just was never packed to the brim. And these kids deserve that this week. They deserve that environment. And I really, really hope that this week people are able to come out and literally create a standing room only atmosphere and get wild, get there early, get the liquid chemicals going out there, and come in there ready to rock the box this weekend, because these guys are 2 more wins away from being back in Omaha where the Tigers belong.
Dougie, give me your point of view of Wes Johnson's impact on the pitching staff, and then the timing of the story yesterday where it's announced that he's going to be Georgia's head coach.
Look, I mean, this guy's been around the game for 25, 30 years. He's coached big leaguers. He's developed people. But, I mean, he's taken an opportunity when it's presented to him. No one can fault him for that. I always heard that his aspiration coming back to college was to eventually be a head coach and not a pitching coach. Hopefully he can finish up strong here. I don't know. Is he staying with the team through Omaha?
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully they can finish up strong here and get him a national championship ring. There's no doubt he's committed to these kids. I've talked to several of the pitchers on this staff. There's a lot of respect. There's a lot of love from the pitchers to him. They really believe in him. And, I'm just glad that he's got a better opportunity. And I'm excited to see who Jay Johnson goes out there and finds. I mean, he's been pretty good so far at bringing in people when he's forced to do so. The story of last year when he went and got the big transfers and then brought in Wes Johnson was his first opportunity. We'll see what he pulls out of his sleeve here.
Last one, Dougie. What do you remember about Kentucky, and what do you make of the matchup?
Yeah, they're going to, Nick Mingione, he's a great coach. They're going to small ball you. They're going to play well. They're going to play strong defense. They're going to bunt. They're going to steal bases. They're going to try to do all the little things. They're like gnats. They're just not going to go away easily. And LSU, I believe, took 2 or 3 from them, right? I haven't even gotten into the offense yet.
Yep.
But I think that last game, Kentucky was able to scrape some runs away and win the game. But yeah, they're definitely beatable, but they can definitely also have a good weekend. And I think it's as good an opponent as LSU can ask for. And I'm excited about it, man. I'm fired up to watch this 3-game series.
The Louisiana Firefighters Foundation, it's aiming to make Louisiana a safer place. Learn more today at louisianafirefighters.com. The 3-man booth is a must listen. Have a great call this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Right,
have a good one.
All right, man. There he is. Doug Thompson checking in right there, giving some good knowledge as we close at hour 1 here. Remember, daily we're brought to you by Katie's Restaurant. Katie's located down in New Orleans on Iberville Street. Make sure and check them out there. Online at katiesinmidcity.com if you want to check out the menu. They got St. Louis style pizza. They got all your New Orleans favorites. We told you about our experience last week. We were down in the quarter, sat next to a couple of tourists. We asked them where they went to eat. They went to Katie's. I asked them for a review. They said it was the friendliest service in town they had ever been to. They were travelers. They loved to leave reviews. They were down in New Orleans for a couple of weeks for music and listening to they were going to some music festivals, and said they went to go check out a place on a Sunday afternoon. They ended up at Katie's and said it was awesome. They loved it. The experience was great because the service was great. The food was awesome, and that's what you get every time you go into Katie's. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Don't forget about their sister restaurant, Francesca's, which is a deli located in Lakeview. You can learn about Francesca's online as well at Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com. We'll come back. Remember, at the 8 o'clock hour, Mike Anderson, custom shoes. He's got them on Skeins. He's got them on Cruise. He's got them all over the place. Hopefully, we can finagle ourselves a pair.
He's going to get them on me.
For sure.
I'll let him paint my feet.
It did have an order, if I remember, Mike.
Got lost in the mail.
You're on your way over here.
I did have an order.
That's why I didn't come in yesterday.
That's right.
Wade lost his job.
He was up all night cobbling.
We'll be back. Jordy Culotta Show, built by R&B.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Here we go.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie@JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go-Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, R&B Builders, as always. Rhett Bourgeois and the crew, online, rmb-builders.com. Get in touch with them over there. We were talking about Gavin Guidry, and this kid, man, he is.
Don't wake up.
He's a dog. So he's going to be the shortstop on this team next year?
Be shortstop for the Rougarou.
Well, I know that.
I think. For now.
I would shut that down.
I think that's going to be Ronnie's biggest recruiting
they're
pitch ever.
Billboards.
He might be in the dugout.
When do they start? When does Rougarou start?
They already started.
They started last week.
Oh.
After Ronnie's promo.
Yeah, he did the car wash.
Oh,
Cane cutters.
The rival.
The what?
Yeah.
They were playing the cane cutters.
Cane cutters.
Ronnie has lost a ton of weight.
Really?
Yeah.
The O shot.
We started calling him Jumbo Zimkic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ozempic.
More weight since the day that he came in?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's down to...
Redeemed himself?
He's down like a toddler.
He is definitely a part of the Ozempic Olympics now.
Yes.
I mean,
Ozempic Olympics.
That's what they would call him, one of those...
At Achilles.
The Achilles
Somebody
ball.
got-
The Ozempic
Did I
Olympics.
say it to you? Yeah.
Jesus.
It was. It's true.
Jeez.
Everybody looked great.
I mean, dude, you run across these people in Baton Rouge, you're like, where did you go?
I know.
Jared from Subway.
I know.
Blow away in the wind. What? I look fine.
I love it. Do I look frail enough?
They're like,
They're
like a pack of Marshall Mathers walking into the MTV Awards. Like,
Without
these
me.
people like just keep coming. White t-shirts and bleach blonde hair. Weighing 75 pounds.
My dress is falling off of me.
I mean, like cheekbones just.
I can see your Skeletor. He's like, am I too skinny? Yes.
Yes.
Well, like
You look like a
So
fish.
5 more pounds.
yeah. I'm just gonna do it for one more week.
And then I'll quit, I promise.
I promise. My doctor said I can't
Eyeballs
do it
and
anymore.
cheeks.
Is this better?
So wait,
Men in Black.
So Gavin Guidry, because he's going to be the shortstop next year, right? With Jordan Thompson out. I mean, I don't see. I mean,
Yeah. He was
it's not
supposed
gonna
to play.
It's not going to be Napolt, is it?
No, I'd imagine that Napolt would probably. He'll be in the position to be able to be in the running for second base, but you'll probably see the portal open up, and that's what Jay is kind of. I mean, don't forget they tried to get the shortstop that went to Tennessee.
If you can't hit, you can't play here.
Right. That's Jay's big mantra.
I mean,
people forget that he's an offensive
he's
guy.
an offensive guy.
Yeah, with
man.
all the pitching
Right.
nonsense that's been going around, and it's like, well, does he know what he's doing? It's like, yes. Clearly, he can step in to be like. Obviously, he brings Wes Johnson in. That helps the pitching. Now he's going to be gone, and then don't be surprised if you already have somebody in line. It's not like that job is going to be. It's like LSU's defensive line coach.
There's no way there's not somebody lined up for that.
Yeah,
job.
he's
got
known.
a short list.
No way.
He's known for a while.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, you don't just pop up and get the Georgia job.
Right.
Right, exactly.
He's got to walk in and be like, "Hey, look, if that Georgia job opens, I'm going to go after it."
After they left Georgia, we actually interviewed Jay, and he was like, I mean, Athens is awesome. And I was like, don't get any ideas. And he was like, oh, God. Because he probably had talked to Wes about it. I had no clue. And he was like, no, we're staying at LSU. And so
He said it publicly?
Like,
he said Athens is awesome? Or
yeah.
Just,
He's like, because they went early.
Yeah.
They went straight from.
Athens is
They went.
Well, it is
to,
awesome.
It's awesome.
I know. So that's why I was like, don't get any ideas. He's like, no, I'm staying at
Katie in
LSU.
red and black.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Ugga.
Oh, me in red and black?
Yeah,
Oh,
Katie.
God.
Wes Johnson
I have an
staying.
announcement to make. I'm going to Georgia.
Transfer portal.
I'm taking my talents to Athens.
Take the whole team.
Katie's going to put Georgia Athletics on his end.
Kirby.
Kirby called.
I want to look like I did when I played for Georgia.
Sweet, I'll be there tomorrow, Kirb.
You
Can
have
you
some?
afford my rate?
Yeah.
One thing, I'm going to get to see a vacation the week before I get there.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Let's scout the town. And never have to leave again.
Shane LeBlanc, as of right now, Guidry wants to only pitch, not play the field.
Well, no, that's just for this year. Because his whole
Yeah, no, I'm asking for next year.
Yeah, he'll be.
This is Jordan Thompson's replacement, right?
Right.
Because Thompson's going to be a loss.
Yes.
In the field.
As
and
much
at
as
plate.
people don't want to, they're still kind of stuck on what happened last year with his.
Get over it.
He was hurt.
Get over it.
I mean, you should applaud the man for
take
playing.
that guy out of the lineup. Take him off the field and what you got.
Right. I mean, you saw, we were talking about this a little bit off here, how they moved him from shortstop to second base, depending who was playing, like if it was a lefty or a righty. He's clearly the most trusted infielder they have, probably outside of Trey Morgan, who moved back to first base, and that paid dividends nearly immediately.
Yeah.
And so he'll be a loss, too. There's going to be some retooling and shuffling around, but we're not there yet. We're here.
Right.
So enjoy it while you got it.
Well, I mean, and look, I'm not looking towards next year at all for LSU baseball, but I'm just looking towards the future of Gavin Guidry, of how he fits in, because he's just so talented.
Again,
I know this. We went and shot a NIL video for someone that was it was the swing guy, the swing doctor or whatever was filming an NIL shoot, and he hired our content team to do it, and it was Trey Morgan and Gavin Guidry that were the kind of like the NIL guys. And I mean, like, we were pitching to them, and we were in a cage, but Gavin Guidry doesn't look like he's not a hitter,
not a pitcher only.
I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the Skeins treatment next year.
Just smashing the baseball in this in the cage, and like Trey Duncan, they were doing it over at X Factor over there on Drusilla and Jefferson, and Trey Duncan is, he owns and operates that place, and I mean, Trey Duncan's one of the best hitters to come out of this town in the last 25 years. I mean, he's made a living off of teaching people how to hit a baseball. I mean, he was watching Morgan and Guidry hit, and I mean, you could tell that. I mean, obviously he had the respect for Morgan, because Morgan's a solidified, probably a top round major league draft pick.
Right.
But it was the first time he had kind of like put his eyeballs on Gavin Guidry, and he was like, oh, wow. I mean, this kid can play. I mean, you could see, like, in real time, he was like, LSU's got something. I mean,
right.
Like,
obviously,
did he turn down the bigs for a position player or for a pitcher?
I think that's kind of why he came to college, to figure it out.
Gavin
like if he
Guidry
wanted, if he wanted to be able to play both or see if he could. I mean, the new fad in baseball is kind of a two-way guy, and there's little to no doubt in my mind he'll play shortstop next year, and then you'll see him take off the tape and go into throw in the ninth inning.
I was watching that Clemson-Tennessee game on Saturday night, and I was trying to think of the last time. I mean, Clemson came to the mound, got the starting pitcher off of the mound after he had worked 8 2/3. I mean, they were to the last out of the game, and they put the closer in, and they put this guy at first base. I mean, it was
Chase Grace.
And
he was swinging the whole time.
Yeah,
like
he was hitting the whole time. I mean, it was Ohtani.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, and a lot of these guys, obviously, they do this in high school. Like, even Renato was talking about, he's like, I mean, I hit in high school. Like when he comes to LSU, obviously I'm going to be a pitcher.
Right.
But like, they can all. But whenever you're this, like, it's become not so, not so much of a faux pas, I guess, to where it's like, dude, if you can play both, play both. It's not that big of a deal. It's not so essentially focused on, all right, you're coming here just to pitch.
Yeah, why can't you do both?
They can. It's a matter of people that either I want to focus on strictly pitching to be able to be a major league prospect, or I want to focus on playing the field.
Do you remember the stories coming out about Paul Skeins in the fall? Hitting the ball? I mean, like, people were like, he's going to be the third hole hitter on a team that features Dylan Cruz, Tommy White, and Trey Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were like, he might have the best bat on the team.
Yeah, Jay Johnson said if he wasn't as good as he showed of being a pitcher, he'd be batting 4-hole and he'd hit 20 home runs.
And there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But on Friday he was named the best player in college baseball, and he hadn't picked up a bat all season.
Right.
He's picked up more footballs than
it's scary to think about, really, how good Skeins is. You know what I mean?
But yeah, when you have a guy that can throw 124 pitches and his last two both were over 100 miles an hour, you kind of have to, like, all right, this is best suited for what we're doing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes first, second, third, whenever he gets drafted, that they might give him some run at the plate too. They'll see.
Yeah, right. I mean, when somebody like Ohtani exists that has kind of broke the barrier.
Right. You needed one.
Like, all right, I mean, they're doing it,
Oh, no shoes, sorry.
And empty-handed, Michael Anderson.
Like, what did I do?
He's got a camera.
Comes through. We're going to talk next. Speaking of Skeins, if you saw Cruz was hitting cruise missiles out of the box all weekend. He was also sporting a pretty fly pair of cleats that was custom made for him by our next guest that we will tell you all about. There they are right there on the screen. If you want to take a look at them. We will talk to Mike Anderson next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Come back with us, built by RMB Builders. This is our flyer.
Need some Booze Cruise ones. Come on.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors,
Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacey,
Greg Brooks.
Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference.
Bet. Let's get it done.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show is always built by R&B Builders. Looking forward to our next guest as we bring aboard Michael Anderson, a guy who's been here before, and he runs the Boot Up Customs, and they're online and actually on Twitter at Boot Up Customs. They're on Instagram. You can find them all over the place, but if you were watching the regional this weekend, you saw a couple of guys sporting some custom design cleats, including Paul Skeins on Friday night, and then Dylan Cruz throughout the weekend were a part of the custom designs from Michael Anderson. So he's here to talk all about it. I know he's got a couple of deliveries he's going to make tomorrow before he gets back to his home base. But he's joining us here this morning on the show. Good morning, man. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I know we've talked a little bit about this, but take us back. How did this kind of start? This whole custom designing shoes for athletes, and then how did you kind of break into the circle?
Yeah, so I did an interview with 225 Magazine. That was the first question they asked me, and I was trying to trace back the random events that led me here, and I couldn't really do it. I had guys like Jacob Zumo, artist in Baton Rouge who inspired me to paint. I grew up painting with my grandmother every summer in Lafayette. But then I looked at it from a different lens and realized that, whenever I was a kid, and I was looking at some pictures last night, we would go to the bowl games and stay at the team hotel, and we try to take pictures with all the players. So I just wanted to be as close to the program as I possibly could. So from that angle, it just kind of makes sense. I went to every home game since I was 9 months old, didn't miss a single one. So I just wanted to be as close to the program and to the team as I possibly could, and just kind of found my lane doing that. So pretty cool.
Yeah. To where it is now has got to be wild, right? I mean, I know it when you were living in Denver. I mean, you were kind of accepted into the circle of the Denver Broncos and were running with those guys. And now when you're down here in Baton Rouge, I mean, it's not as if you're around the program. I mean, you're running with like the big dogs of the program. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, everybody's been so cool. I felt the LSU baseball team and their families, they really made me feel like part of the family. And so, I'm at the point where, not just trying to be a fan anymore, trying to be a peer with a lot of the guys. And, as far as I've been able to go, thus far, it still feels like day one, honestly. I mean, I still have big goals and lofty expectations for myself. So looking forward to see where it takes me as well.
What is the grand plan for something like this?
Yeah, so hey, Joe Burrow, if you're watching.
Hey, and he does, so speak directly to him. He's a daily viewer.
It's time to boot up, my boy. And that's funny. Joe actually hit me up on Instagram in 2018 and followed me and sent me a message and wanted to do something. And then,
Has he gone ghost mode since?
Well, yeah, a little bit,
Not as easy to get in touch with, I'd imagine.
Yeah, right.
Those DMs are flooded.
2018 was a different Joe Burrow.
Right. So yeah, I was trying to do Joe Burrow. I was trying to do your cleats before everybody else. So I was the first guy. That's the bucket list project for sure. And I'm gonna get it right. It's only a matter of time. I just gotta keep being undeniable, keep doing my thing, and at some point we'll be able to do that. And really, I think the next step for me is I want to get as involved with NIL as I possibly can.
Wow.
Right. So if there's a way that I can promote my business and I can do my thing, but then also I can help the athletes make money along the way. I mean, then it's just a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
Right?
Have you met the lead of the collective and everyone who is running that here for LSU?
Yeah. So I know some of the guys. Kind of slowly making my way through that. I'm gonna link up with Gordon McKernan. I've talked to the Landrys a little bit. Talked to some of the match point people. So
we need to put you in touch with Peter Wright.
Yep, and actually somebody had mentioned him the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna put together a text message with y'all.
My guy.
Before you get out of here.
Keep me in the loop on that one.
What if you just want to get custom? What if
just
I'm not
regular
Joe Burrow?
people like us. How
You
do
know
we
what
get
I mean?
some shoes?
I got a 12-year-old son who's he's a football player, and he would, if I said we could get some custom designed cleats, he'd probably jump to the moon. How does that happen?
Yeah, so most of my projects, just to advance the brand, so I'm going to be putting out in a couple of months, my first clothing drop to the public. People ask me all the time, how can I support you? Can you do some butterflies on my girlfriend's Air Force Ones? And
I can.
That's not exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to take projects with, not only big time athletes but good people too, because I'm in the relationship business, right? Like I just did some cleats for Gio DiGiacomo at Duke. He texted me, said, "I'm never taking these things off."
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
And he got hot.
Yeah, he did, and they scored he scored the winning run the first game, and then they won yesterday to go to the Supers. So I'm not really doing any commissions right now to the public, but I am going to be putting out some cool stuff where everybody can support me. And there's a lot of companies, sneaker companies, that their whole mission is, let me put out as many projects as I possibly can. We're just going to sell as many cleats as possible, and that's not really what I'm doing, because it is just me. And what people don't really know is that these cleats take anywhere from 18 to 24 hours for me to do. So I'm putting in a lot of work on these.
I thought it would be longer.
That's less than I thought.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes a little bit longer depending on how intricate it is. Mm-hmm. Recently, I just get better as I do it. I get better, I get faster. Whenever I have, 4 or 5 to do at a time, I can do all the prep work at once, which kind of cuts down on that a little bit.
Is it all freehand?
So I stencil some stuff too. So it's airbrush, paintbrush, freehand stencil, all the above.
Do you come up with all the ideas, or do you work with the athlete to do what they want to do, or do you just surprise them every time?
So it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Like Paul Skeins, he just sent me a pair of cleats to my place, and I opened them up and they were huge. So I was like, oh, these are probably for Paul. And then I asked him, like, hey man, like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I don't know, I don't have a creative bone in my body. and then a couple days later, I'm thinking, all right, I'll do something. And then a couple days later, he said, I want to do something to commemorate the season, the program, and that kind of tries to bring everybody together. And so LSU baseball is using that powerhouse logo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty easy. And then, obviously it's the K-Ladies thing is a famous LSU baseball thing. So that's a big part of the program and the pitching staff. So that just kind of came to me, and
he's the strikeout king this year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And so the light bulb just went off, and that's how we came up with that
That's great.
one.
So I guess you just kind of provided the information on this answer. Do they provide you the cleats, or do you have in stock, like, say, if there's a different color pattern you want to use with somebody, you say, like, I have this idea, I want to give you this pair of cleats. I mean, or how does that process work?
So for football, they give these guys so many cleats. So I get just the team issued stuff. So they'll just send me those. For baseball, it's a little bit different. So it's kind of half and half. Either they'll send it to me, or I can order it if they have them in stock, if I can find them. They usually just mail them to me, or I'll pick them up if I'm in Baton Rouge.
And you did the Will Wade custom boot ups, right?
Yeah, Will Wade's my guy. Shout out to Will Wade.
No doubt.
He actually does watch this show,
Yeah.
so yeah.
He does.
Well, I was talking to Reed Vile the other day about
he was on the show last week.
About
That's where I got the shirt.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I was trying to. He already went back to Lake Charles, but I'm trying to get one. So.
One of those shirts?
Oh, bro, I'll give you this one right now.
I want
Yeah,
one.
it's a large. It's big on me.
I tell you what, give me a pair of custom. I'll give you a dry fit. How many times a day do you get hit up?
I mean, it's not a bunch of times a day, but it's pretty cool. I mean, guys like Dylan have really put me on, and that's how Paul found out about me, right? Is he was just talking to Dylan. He's like, oh yeah, I got a guy. So Paul hit me up on Instagram, and that was like a good bit before the season. So that was pretty cool. And then just word of mouth. I'm pretty plugged in with the LSU athletes on social media. And this year, I'm working with the Cowboys, with Austin FC, with UT, but the LSU projects are the ones that mean the most to me. Obviously I went to LSU. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, so those are the ones that I want to do the most. Mm-hmm. If I'm doing UT stuff, it's kind of like, but yeah, just word of mouth, and it was pretty cool. Olivia Dunn hit me up on Instagram a few months ago, so we got some Jordans in the works with her.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just been awesome, and everybody's been so supportive, and it's been so cool to see how far we've come. But again, I really do feel like I'm just getting started.
Is that the goal, like, to be like affiliated with the team?
Yeah. So I was LSU football hit me up on Instagram to do some Jordans for Brian Kelly. So of course I immediately say yes and order the Jordans, get them done, ready to go. And it's just a little bit complicated doing it officially through the university with LSU sports properties and just all that kind of stuff. So we haven't officially put that out yet. I've had meetings. So I had a meeting with Scott Woodward and Kelly Zinn, his COO, and then with the guys at LSU Sports Properties to figure out what I can do to try to become an official sponsor with LSU Sports. But that's going to be a long process. I'm still trying to navigate those waters right now. But at some point, yeah. So LSU official sneaker artist of LSU Sports. That sounds pretty nice.
That is nice.
It does.
If you want to get in with BK, make him some golf shoes.
Yeah. Okay. And that's
just saying,
actually
get you in the door.
It's funny. My mom lives on the lakes 2 doors down from Coach Kelly, so
oh, wow.
I might just go knock on his door.
I got your shoes.
Yeah, just leave a box
and a contract. Is that cool?
Yeah, put the contract underneath the shoes. What's in the box?
Well, this is awesome, man. I mean, so do you mind me asking who's the most famous person you worked with? Or is that kind of...
So, okay, yeah, no, I've got it. So, I did a big painting on canvas. Actually, it was on a custom cut piece of wood for the Kid Leroy. is a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
He had the #1 song in the world last year with Justin Bieber. It was called Stay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've worked with the rapper Russ. I'm a big Russ fan.
Do they come to you, or do you send?
No, so projects like that, I just get those myself, and that's just I do that for the love of the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to meet the guys and hang out and go to the concert and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. So what's the easiest way for people to find you?
Instagram for sure. I'm trying to update all my social media. I got a lot to do on that. But at get.like.mike on Instagram is the easiest way.
It's a great follow. He's doing really cool stuff. He's a very creative artist, very talented, and you can feel it, man. I think we met probably 6 or 7 months ago, and since then, I mean, it's continued to mushroom, man. The thing is going to become, as he said, I mean, it's not if, it's when. I believe it. It's great to see you. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Mike Anderson, find him on Instagram. He's all over social media, as he said. Keep up in there at Boot Up Customs. We'll be back with more of the show. Jordy Culotta Show, built by RMB.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Here you go.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at jordyculottashow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go-Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors,
Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacey,
Greg Brooks. Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference. Bet. Let's get it done.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Josh Manuel, we are paying attention to the microphone comments on the volume. Let us know how it works. Hunter Fournette, Katie is the only one that pays attention to the comments.
That's not true. I'm up in here all the time.
LSU forever. Do you guys sleep clutching pictures of Will Wade?
As a matter of fact.
We actually keep a picture of Wade on the wall right behind Katie. And we still snuggle with the pillow every single day. LSU forever.
We love Will Wade.
And we only ask questions about Wade every day just to piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's McNeese's coach, we're going to do a McNeese basketball segment every week of the season.
There he is.
Look at that.
Look at him.
Fresh, little baby-faced William Wade.
Our little milk
It's an
man.
arena.
Look, that's his first ever game at LSU.
Day one.
Man.
Do you think you'll get a McNeese one?
Absolutely.
Looks like he's
You
on
gonna
the
go?
Zip again,
Saddle
that's
up.
not-
Oh,
Saddle up.
I'm telling you, put this man in boots,
Saddle up.
cowboy boots, and just do boot up
That's
again.
not what they say, right? They don't say
Go
saddle
Pokes.
up.
No, yeah, it's guns up.
That's awesome, though. They need
Saddle
to,
up.
right?
Could you imagine
Now?
Willie doing a promo for a saddle
my
up and throwing him
God.
on a horse?
That's
That
the
would be
general.
so
You know,
good.
like, hey Willie, mount up on that horse.
Mount up.
Mount up.
Put him in a cowboy.
That would be awesome.
I know.
I mean, this is free.
I mean, yeah, we've come up with it now. This is his new shtick. So you're
We'll be moving
welcome.
the podcast to Lake Charles.
Yep.
Right. Go Pokes.
Pokes. Poke up.
Saddle up.
Poke in.
Do not think for 1 second I did not walk Mike Anderson to the door and ask him where my custom designed shoes
well, the
are
break
or
was
when
so
should I
long.
expect them. We got a couple of things in the works.
I really thought he was coming in here with a shoe.
I did too.
Like, I was shocked to see him empty-handed. I was
He
looking
came in with
around,
his
like,
camera.
He did come with his
That,
camera.
I'm glad you punted on that. That would have been a disaster
I
scenario.
didn't get the.
I think we'd
I
have to
didn't
take the
understand.
SD card.
Yeah.
I knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just send it in an email.
Unless you got a shoebox, no cameras, bro.
Free.
No videos.
I thought he just wanted to take pictures of us.
No,
Honestly.
no.
Katie, walk that catwalk.
Yeah.
I
Show
really
that
did.
Ozempic.
I was like,
Ozempic
"Hey, let's
Olympics."
take some
Right.
photos. I'm glad I wore my good shoes.
Yeah. So do you think you could put custom these?
Did you bring a paintbrush? Could you just paint
That's
a
what
little?
she was saying whenever he left. She's like, I mean, he could just do like a little bit for
Just
me.
a little bit, right?
Something.
Yeah.
Maybe a little outline of the check.
Yeah. What do you want?
I guess like an Ozempic needle.
That would be awesome.
A needle.
Turn that
Like
check into a
skeletons and
needle.
needles.
Have like a drip of the blood coming off the check.
That would be
The
amazing.
skinny part of the needle.
And then like a
check.
smiling Katie face in the back walking away.
And like the song. With
I
the
see
music
you
notes.
looking, bitches.
Yeah, the bigger face to littler face where she just started to do a skeleton.
so skinny.
What is she doing?
So skinny.
She's taking it from all the diabetics.
I love
There's
all
people
those
that
numbers.
need it.
People need this medicine.
Yeah,
You're
they're
gonna get your
350 pounds. That's your
gallbladder's gonna
fault.
fall out.
Yeah, I mean the people that
It's
I
so
mean,
dumb.
You're 350 pounds. Who did this?
Wait, are we gonna do our tier?
I don't know.
Jordy's always asked for segments, and we
Wait,
do them.
why?
and
This is Tuesday
I don't
tier.
know.
It's
I mean,
8:30.
I thought last week it fell off a cliff.
What'd y'all do last week? I was not here, obviously.
What was
the
it?
tier?
That was-
Logos.
Oh, I wasn't here.
No, we did that the week before. I was here for
Yeah.
that. All the sports teams logos. Like
Yeah,
everything.
I thought it was grass growing,
Oh, really?
paint drying.
Well, what would today's be?
Today's was SEC football atmospheres.
Atmospheres?
Yes.
Pull it up, Stu.
I knew that would
Once you
get
get him, you got him.
Let's play it.
Knew that would
All right,
get
top
you.
tier LSU.
Top tier LSU, top tier Auburn.
Really?
Absolutely. Solid atmosphere. I would put Tennessee.
I've never been. The only away games I've been to, Georgia, Alabama, and Vanderbilt.
Well, their
Yeesh.
atmosphere is about to be.
Well, Vanderbilt
top
was a
tier.
bachelor party.
I would put.
So that's
Look.
top
I know
tier.
it's not ideal to be the road team. It sucks to be the road team, but I would put a solid atmosphere as a Swamp.
Me too.
It is a home field advantage, and they are a bunch of pricks. But I mean, so are we. Average, I would put Bama.
That's not true.
Why? What do you think it is?
I think it's cream of the crop.
No. Have you ever been?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they just sit there and sing "Song of the South" and
Rammer
Dixie
Jammer.
Delight,
And like the lights.
they just
and
do the shakers.
band.
You got your shaker. You got your shaker.
I stole
Shakers
one.
are weird.
This
You had
is
to
a
clap
dumb
with your
shit.
hands.
I mean, the pom shaker. That's weird.
I stole one from a
There's no
6-year-old.
chant.
There's too much bias here.
No, there's not.
I've seen
There's
two
no
grown
not.
men
I
get into
I
about
would
that shaker
back out of
thing.
this and tell you that I have been to the majority of road venues in the SEC. All of what I have named up to this point, I have been to. And I would say in this order, Alabama fits in about right there. I mean, think about it. What's the draw to Bryant-Denny?
Which is huge.
Other than the
Fans
team on
are
the
very
field.
Passionate, yeah.
I mean,
it's
what
just
LSU
electric.
brings, what LSU brings is a lot of people show up for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's showing up for the atmosphere at Bryant-Denny. They're
Oh,
showing
I
up to
disagree.
watch the Tide.
Here to see Saban.
That's it.
Here to see Coach Saban.
That's it. Nikki told me I couldn't leave, so I'm not leaving. And when they play Dixieland Delight, I'm singing it to the top of my lungs, waving my shaker, and thinking that people on the other sideline is like intimidated. That's what I'm talking about. When I go to Auburn and they do the War Eagle pregame, the first time I ever saw that, I looked around and was like, LSU's in trouble today.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you go to the Swamp and you do, a quarter behind in the Florida section, you're thinking, this sucks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Tennessee, for me, was the best road game, best road environment I've ever been to. They tailgate on Neyland River. It's a party town, like kind of
so why aren't we at
sneakily.
the top with them? And they're about to build a hotel attached to the stadium. That's going to be.
Well, I would dock there. And look, solid atmosphere is still a solid atmosphere. It's not like we're docking them like down to the really boring. I mean, it is 105,000 of bleacher seats.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like Olympia Stadium.
I mean,
it's
but
like
is that-
Memorial.
Is that going into the vote here, Lou?
Absolutely.
The
Are we
seating?
talking atmospheres?
Yeah.
Are we talking teams? If we're
Atmospheres.
talking teams, Alabama's at the top.
Atmospheres. No,
Okay.
atmospheres.
So if we're talking atmospheres, this is. I mean, if I'm paying premium for my ticket, and I'm on the 50-yard line, and I'm crammed in some bleacher style section, the atmosphere ain't as cool as it is in my chair back at Tiger Stadium.
That's true.
There was some fucker in my seat for the the game of the century. Just some Alabama gump was in my seat. And
Oh,
he's
this is my seat, man.
No, I called security. We're not playing this game. Like, what do you want me to do? He's like, what you going to do about it? And I was like, get that guy to come get your ass out because you don't have a ticket. What are you doing? And then also, if you take a shaker from an Alabama fan, that's fighting.
Alabama and
like
Auburn.
they're
So
like,
weird.
They're like, it's
Well, they
like
like keep it in
theirs.
they like keep it in their back pocket when they walk
you
in.
can
So it was
pluck 'em
awesome
so
just to
easily.
take a lighter and light them on
Oh
fire.
my God.
Oh, my goodness. This man is
Bro,
a menace.
bro, you're smoking, dude.
I thought I
This
was.
man's a menace.
Like a 6-year-old kid shook one in my face at an LSU game after we had lost.
Snack that thing.
Oh, I did. I
Yeah,
did. I
absolutely.
took it and I threw it down and I stepped on it. And Rebecca was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Fuck that kid."
Yeah, I'm raging on this 12-year-old. Leave me alone.
Oh, he wasn't even 12 yet.
All right, back to the average. Bama's average. I would put Starkville as a solid atmosphere.
Yeah, they are.
I would put
was wondering
I would
what y'all
put
were
Davis
gonna do with
Wade.
I thought we were gonna put it last.
Davis Wade is. I
Just a
mean,
bit.
I'm talking
Yeah,
home
Davis
field.
Wade.
I'm talking home field advantages.
Yeah. Have
To
you
me, yes, I have. To me, the top 5 teams right there in the top 5 have a true home field advantage. Like
Right.
you fear
They have a thing.
going in. You take Saban off of Alabama's sideline, and I fear nothing going into Bryant-Denny. Really.
Okay.
I'm serious. Like the day that Saban dies or retires and is away from Alabama's head coaching gig, I mean, I imagine that Brian Kelly will hopefully have a little bit left in the tank there. I think LSU immediately becomes the favorite in that series.
Yeah. for
Immediately.
sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. When Nick's gone.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is that's the only thing I fear when I play Alabama is Nick Saban. Those other 5 teams, like I don't fear their coach. I don't really fear their team as
Well, ours
much.
is dead,
But I
so.
mean, like I do think that
Well,
you can
damn.
go into Auburn
in
at
peace.
any point and get beat. Like last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very
Like
true.
Harold Perkins got to make a freaky interception
Yeah.
down in the red zone. You know what I mean? Like you got to make plays to
Yeah.
kind of
Greg Brooks.
win.
Interception.
I mean,
gotta have him.
At any point, you could go to Tennessee or Florida and get beat.
Yeah.
You know, like Mississippi State, maybe not so much, but the atmosphere is going to be
It's very
hell.
distracting.
It's going to be hell. You know, it's going to
Where
make you. that's
Just
why I love
activated.
playing Mississippi State early in the year.
Yeah.
Because it always, to me, make you a better team by going in there and winning.
Go down.
Like that 07, if you remember the 07 National Championship team, that was the first game of the season.
Oh yeah.
Was at Mississippi State.
You needed to.
Purple unis.
Was
Craig
that the Chad
Stokes.
Jones
Craig Stokes.
punt return?
No, that was one that was. I think that was 2009 when Patrick Peterson's
Peterson was
waving.
doing the windmill.
Yeah, I think it was 09. Stormin. That was the game that they took the picture of Peterson standing in the rain where he's got his hands up. Yeah.
And then was it 2011 Mississippi State? Is that what you're talking about?
2011 Mississippi State was.
That's doing.
2011 is when they played him on a Thursday night.
Thursday, right?
Yeah,
Eric Reed knocked that kid's head off.
Yeah,
Killed that kid.
And you needed a Mo Claiborne interception to kind of win the game.
I think they had a Reuben Randall touchdown from Jarrett Lee. Yeah, it was like a 21-17. It was weird.
Like that. It was a
weird
bizarre
game. Yeah, and y'all should have beaten Cam in 2010.
Cam.
What had the kid drop that ball? Mississippi State wide receiver on a 4th down. Y'all had Cam beat.
I remember that. Yeah.
Y'all had Cam beat. Should have beat him. And Dan Mullen called like one of that.
So many memories.
What was that parallel play that they used to run the quarterback draw? He'd step back and throw it, and he called it perfectly, and the kid just
threw his hands.
Probably still to this day wake you up like in a deep sleep. All right, back to the averages.
Ole Miss is on D.
No.
They are.
That is
That's
that
like
is
a high school stadium.
It is. I would put that as could improve.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I would put Kentucky as average. I've never been, but I do know that Stoops has built a football atmosphere and environment. Like, I mean, I know that place was rocking when that last night was there.
That's
they smelled blood.
Yeah.
They smelled blood that night. I mean, like,
it was a night game.
I mean, that was that was a
bloodbath.
That was a dungeon. Like, I mean, you walk in there and you're like, we're gonna die here tonight.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna die here tonight.
Jordy
Ogeron's gonna lose his job here tonight.
Jordy just relegated to making fun of the punter for LSU. He's like, they're all fat. Look at it. He's the punter. Jersey doesn't fit. That was
Ogeron giving up.
That was when Ogeron lambasted everybody for the hype video.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He flipped the table.
Yeah.
That was when he flipped the table.
Because they showed the clock.
Talk to it, daddy.
I mean, even Panamsky wouldn't make eye contact with him.
Sunglasses on.
Just like, whoa.
Okay, where's my hat?
It's coming.
I would put Georgia average. I mean, they're the national champs, right?
Oh man, I would put them solid.
It is it's kind of a weird atmosphere like Alabama. They do weird stuff.
But it's fun.
Big. Yeah, A&M was. I've been to A&M. A&M is a bomb shelter, man. I mean, it's like this.
But they got their thing. Like,
yeah, they got it. I'd put it at average, Stewie. Vanderbilt really boring.
Missouri really boring.
I tell you what, dude, South Carolina looks like a party on television. Yeah, I would put I'd put them solid.
They beat Tennessee at home this year.
I would put solid. I agree with that. Could improve. I'd probably put Arkansas.
Could improve.
I would put really boring. They're done.
What is the deal with why are all these kids wanting to go to Arkansas now to college?
I mean, have you been to Fayetteville?
Yes, but it's no different than Tuscaloosa, Starkville, Oxford. It's in the middle of nothing. A bunch of hillbillies.
They don't even have a home stadium. They don't know which one's which.
Like, I don't get why all these kids are wanting to go
where do they play
the fact
at?
that it took 10 years. They
It's
play.
just
I don't know
here.
because people do.
I think it's just because it's not here. But
Yeah,
it
but
seems
it's like
to be more popular recently in the
tucked
past
away
few
and
years.
it's hard to get to.
I'm always like, Arkansas.
I want to go to University of Arkansas, Daddy.
The weirdest. The weirdest.
It's
That's the
strange.
strangest. That's got to be the strangest.
That's the strangest chant. In
That's the
this.
strangest
A&M's
chant.
stranger.
Yeah.
A&M.
The midnight.
A&M is a
like,
different type of
That
weird.
is
Yeah,
like
that's
a
like
different-
That's like kind of like y'all are on y'all's
Cascades
own.
calling.
Tier.
Yeah, y'all are on that
they're
island
their
over
own
there.
planet.
Yeah.
Like y'all almost live like the Amish.
See,
I mean, the fact that they defended is the weirdest part.
well, exactly.
Yeah.
If they were making this list, if this was an A&M
get
podcast,
mad.
they would be, we're cream of the crop.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And it's like, how do y'all know?
Texas A&M's number one, right?
Yeah, I mean, they love Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Turn your ring 3 times.
The cult.
It's a cult.
It is.
You better kiss that girl too.
I got you fresh batch of milk.
Fayetteville's pretty, Stan. I'm not arguing that at all. The schools in the middle of nowhere. I went to one. Those type of schools are just. I mean, you think you want to go, and all these kids growing up here in the city with their SEC school in the city, and you think you want to go to Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Like,
You find the
different.
laundromat yet?
When you get there, there's no Target in those towns.
Cooch.
Like, there's a lot that you're not
Target.
used to. I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah.
using those examples.
There's
you
a
know what
Papa
I mean?
John's
like,
on
there's
campus
a
at
lot
Mississippi State though.
to
Pretty
be
good.
desired.
I would say the
Is
same
that Papa John's
for-
still there?
You're there for these schools.
But
I mean, I'd imagine that people come down here to Baton Rouge on college visits and are like,
Just wait for the
But there's
wait
so
for
much more to
Saturday.
do here in
Like
Baton
what?
Rouge. Well, it's a city. It's a big city. It's the capital.
I would
city
say
of
that the
this
only thing to
state.
do in Baton Rouge would be New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a big draw though.
But it's still more to do.
we go to Memphis. from Oxford and Starkville
Yeah.
to go somewhere. Like, think about that.
Island
That's
hopping.
a wire.
I mean, Oxford to Memphis is like Baton Rouge and New Orleans, though, right?
No, it's farther.
Nah, not much though, huh?
Not much, but it takes us. We would have parties there, and it would take us like 2 hours on a
But from
charter bus
Starkville,
from
right?
Starkville, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably an hour and a half from Oxford.
Really?
We go to Birmingham too. I mean,
Ew.
there's just not enough around.
Mississippi is not a.
Where would you
Trash
go?
state.
Where would you go?
We would
from
switch
Fayetteville?
Dry
with,
state
with
for real?
Alabama
Trash.
too. Like it's 45 minutes to Tuscaloosa. We would switch up and have parties on each other's bars and campuses.
Tuscaloosa was the same
Weird.
way, though. I mean,
Yeah,
when
it's
I was in
exactly the
college, I
same.
was like, "What do y'all do?
Nothing. That's the thing.
What do y'all do here?"
You're there for
If
the
you're
college.
in college, yeah, it's not bad.
Sure.
But
Baton Rouge
that's
kind
what-
of the
that's all
same
you
way.
do.
Yeah.
But there's so much
I mean,
more here.
in Baton Rouge, when I was at LSU, I mean, you never really left
that area.
3 square
Yeah.
miles.
Right.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. There's not a ton to do in Baton
But
Rouge.
you can.
Like-
there are options.
Like what?
Well,
Like what would you
it's
do
the
if you said
capital
if
city? Like
I
there's
understand
festivals
that.
around.
I mean,
there's
outside
stuff
of going to the
downtown.
bars,
Yeah, I mean there are festivals around here. There's always great live music everywhere. I mean that's bars too, but way more restaurants than you're going to find in Oxford, Starkville, Tuscaloosa,
I guess
towns
so.
like that. You know.
And why do you leave all
New
the time?
Orleans, right there. Me, well, I like to travel. It's a hobby.
Sounds good, Katie. You sound like a liar.
I love it.
Yeah, it sounds like that's not a good sell on Baton
Sounds like
Rouge.
you hate living here, but you really just
Yeah,
Have
Tom
to.
said it's an
Have to,
hour,
yeah.
Oxford to Memphis.
gun to your head.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I remember it kind of being like that.
Yeah.
You know, like just
Kill me.
let's get away.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
New Orleans.
Hunter Hall goes Baton Rouge, walk the lakes, live after 5, go to NOLA. It's really.
That's true.
I mean, the only reason that I enjoy Baton Rouge is for Saturday nights and like LSU related events. Nothing else that comes to
Yeah.
mind that there's something to do. I'm not like, oh, I have to go. I can't wait. Like Lafayette has more to do than Baton Rouge, and it's easier.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I mean, because Lafayette is more. They're more invested in the arts. They're more invested into, you know, they
Yeah.
have a true festival.
Right. Yeah.
Like they have a festival international that attracts people
Yeah, it's
from
huge.
all over the state, all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
really. But I mean, it is a legitimate festival.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge tried to do a blues fest. They've tried to do some, you know. I mean, and look, I don't want to sound like I'm dumping on them, but you know, I mean, Baton Rouge needs
Yeah.
help.
Sounds like the hands are down, Jordy.
But it's bigger.
I don't want to sound but.
But
there are more options, and my whole point in that was these kids leaving here thinking like they're going to these schools and this is going to be like life changing. They're going to be disappointed when they're sitting in a small town that has nothing except the university there. It's just tough.
But I mean, like the first 2 years of college.
you're just a
Yeah.
college. You're
What
I mean,
doing
it was
college
different
town.
for me going from Hattiesburg to Starkville. Like, I mean, I'd be like, God, this place is small. I mean, when you're in it, you're in it. You know what it's like to be there, or Oxford. You're in the middle of nothing. Like,
Never
you
been.
can't even, like, you got to stay in a hotel outside of town on big game days. At least in Baton Rouge, you can all be here,
Yeah, traffic is brutal.
right?
Traffic is brutal. Right
Brutal.
here.
About to get worse.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
I mean, they're about to start that interstate.
Wait, where?
At the bridge. I mean, like, it's going to be...
They're never starting that.
It's going to be a nightmare, bro. I mean, I'm telling you.
Wait, I'm so confused right now. I'm so lost.
So they're building a new bridge.
Well, they're fixing the bridge.
Which one? The new one?
Yeah, they're going to expand, like, the
lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that, you know, I mean, you're taking Houston traffic and shoveling it down I-10, and then when you get to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it chokes down to one lane to merge.
You're-
You know
It
what I
is
mean?
brutal.
And you're like, well, let's run another study on why there's traffic. You know what the study told us? Is that there's one lane when everybody crosses the bridge. The same thing that the study told us 20 years ago when we dumped $2 million into it. But, you know, I digress.
Not dumping on VR.
Right.
Yeah.
Not dumping.
I'm
One
coming-
lane.
Coming from a small town,
One
and
lane.
coming from a small town college is different here,
Yeah,
and it's
one
better.
lane.
And there's a hell of a lot more to
Katie,
do.
I
here.
mean, Franklin's small.
The face of Visit Baton Rouge.
Baton
I
Rouge
mean,
is kind
I'm
of
just
small
saying,
too.
I
though.
literally lived this life. It's different here.
It is different.
Like, if I had to go back to Mississippi, Jackson would be the only acceptable place I would live, and that would be tough as hell.
Damn. Jackson doesn't even
I've
have
never
water.
been. I don't think
Just
I've
look at
even
Holden
been to
Mayo's
Mississippi.
post from yesterday. He did a little Mississippi tour.
Who did?
Jackson. Holden Mayo. He went to Jackson.
Oh yeah, I did see
It's
that.
hilarious.
It's so good.
It's hilarious. It's so good.
His content's
So
incredible.
is his Hattiesburg visit.
Look at his mother.
They couldn't even get red beans.
I know. That
Took
was
it 3
great.
times.
That was so great.
They do it on Tuesday.
I
Here.
DM'd him and I was like naming all these places he should. I was like, God, you're making it look bad. Like you should have gone here. And he's like, oh, I went to a bunch of places. They just weren't shown. I was like,
There was vomit on the floor at the Best Western. He's like, "What is this?" I was like, "That's
Western
throw up
Plus."
for sure." Like, I know what vomit looks like on a carpet. Go to the fraternity house.
He said, "Got to be one of the best Best Western hotel reviews you'll see on the web."
It has to be. Plus is where it's at.
Oh my God.
It looks like Colorado and Arizona are bailing on the Pac-12. They're jumping to the Big 12, which everybody thought was left for dead. It looks like they're catching a little bit of life, but Pac-12
It's dead.
they're dead man walking.
What is USC going to do?
USC and UCLA are going to the Big Ten.
They're going to the Big Ten, and then Colorado and who are going to the Big 12?
Colorado and Arizona.
Okay, so it's over.
It's over.
Arizona State, chilling.
Oregon
For now.
chilling.
Oregon, chilling.
I think Oregon's waiting on. They're going to get a big one.
Wait,
SEC offer.
have you
SEC
seen
or Big Ten.
Have you seen Phil Knight's trying to buy the Trailblazers and like keep them in Portland, but they won't sell to him?
Yeah. Why? Why is that?
Because they want to move it to Seattle.
Yeah. And like the owners, like the previous owner died, and his kids own it now, and like his kids don't want to sell to Phil Knight, but I mean it's Phil Knight and Nike.
He can move mountains, and they want a
Right.
team in Las Vegas that LeBron wants to own. So, I don't know who has more power in that dynamic, Phil Knight or LeBron James. Like honestly,
I agree.
which is crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
The moves of sports teams lately this is about to get crazy.
Yeah.
They're all trying to get to Vegas.
Yeah, but I mean, you know
It's
it's in
worked out
Vegas.
so well for everybody that's gone there. Dude.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
I mean, you
Place
see where
I've still
Brady
never
went,
been.
first place he went.
Yeah.
I got
Like I'm gonna go to Vegas. See y'all.
Well, he's single.
Yeah,
You
true.
gotta go find love
in Vegas.
in a hopeless place.
I was about to say, I don't know.
A lot of people think they fall in love in Las Vegas.
Those things come back with you.
Yes, they do. Forever. It's called herpes. It only flares up, but it's dormant forever.
All right, everybody, have a good day. Enjoy your Tuesday. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. Jacques will be here tomorrow, as we will be here with you on a Wednesday. Make sure and tune in. No shows today. We'll have mic'd up for you tomorrow.
With Jay.
Wrapping up the regional with Jay Johnson and looking ahead to the super regional. Kentucky will be in town this weekend for the best of 3. All right, hit that like button, share button, comment button. Be back to you tomorrow. Everybody have a good day.
What a bad blood with Kentucky. It's gonna get spicy.